Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining today. We are going to make a market review for the analysis that we have shared during this week, and also the forecast that we did during the beginning of the week. We are going to look at how the analysis already performed and what we should expect for the market. So the overall focus will be on the US dollar, considering that also this week was focused on the USD. So let's begin shortly, just in 1 minute. Okay, so everything looks fine also here. So as the beginning, we are going to look at the economic calendar, what we had during this week so far. The most important events were focused during Tuesday with the data from the UK. We had the average earnings, the employment data. It's a bit strange because the website already changed the numbers. They were minus 205. Now I see that this is 45k. With the numbers during the moment that it was published, the average earnings that are higher than expected but lower than the previous month. Overall, it was reported as a good indicator, considering that the salaries are increased, and this is showing that the incomes of the individuals are growing. So this is a positive indicator for the UK economy. On the other hand, the employment change, this is taken as positive when this number tends to be higher than the previous month. When it was reported, it was lower, it was minus 205. I don't know why they have changed, but as we can see, this is positive so far. So considering that we have two strong numbers, GBP should have been very strong. However, in the current momentum that we are talking right now, the British pound is already strong for some other reasons. We had also Swiss National Bank's chairman Jordan's speech. He repeated again that we are going to intervene in the market if that is necessary in order to create a stable moment for inflation. We have to be very careful because they are still in the market manipulating the strength of their currency. It's the same thing that the Bank of Japan is doing, that they are not doing anything. Also, he made a joke about this topic here. So we have to be careful from Swiss National Bank all the time that they comes out with this type of strange statements. We had also the GDP from Eurozone. As we can see, and as expected, nothing changed with these numbers. The market speculated a bit with the strength of euro, but as we can see, it is getting more stable at this moment. However, it was according to expectations, despite the fact how euro reacted at the moment when this news was released. One of the most important events during yesterday was the US inflation data. We had the inflation data, so consumer price index is from 3.3, that were the expectations, to 3.2, and during the previous month it was 3.7. So a very big GDP is strong. The US is performing very well, and probably this will impact the economy in order to increase the inflation rate. We can see that these numbers are proving again that the US economy is doing very well with inflation data. At this moment, considering these numbers, I think that the Fed probably is not going to increase the interest rates on December's meeting, and probably this may create more aggressive sell related with the US dollar. So we may see weakness on the USD. However, one step at a time, we have to be careful. This was the main catalyst for yesterday, that we saw across all the currency pairs related with the USD, very big movements against the US dollar. So let's see what is going to happen. We had also the CPI data from the UK. Very good news also here. We can see that the CPI data from UK is from 4.8 to 4.6. But what is very important is that during the previous month it was 6.7 and it came out as 4.2. So we can see a decrease in inflation numbers with 2%. Overall, the market didn't react it. Probably many were expecting that this was going to be bearish for the British pound, considering that the market is reacting in different ways, in a strange way, let's say. However, this is very good for the economy, considering that everyone was talking about problems with recession, high inflation rate, if the inflation rate was going to move down. So now this is getting more stable, and probably we may see the Bank of England to stay strong on the interest rates that they actually have. In my opinion, they will hold for a long period of time the interest rate that they have. It can happen the same also with the other economies before they will begin to cut the interest rates. So I don't think that it will happen anytime soon. So let's see what is going to happen also from a technical perspective and what we shared during the previous week. So we are going to look at one by one what happened. As a beginning, I will begin with GBP USD. This is one of the analyses that I shared on November 9th, as you can see. Price made a full retest of our area, and after that we can see the bullish movement. As I explained during this analysis, we had the FOMC moment during the previous weeks. We have the Bank of England, both didn't increase the interest rates, and we had also the non-farm payroll data when the price increased. So it was a type of zone, let's say fundamental zone, that pushed the price up again. It was not so clear at the beginning, but created something better later. If we are going to look at GBP USD from this perspective, the price so far is creating this type of pattern. Probably we can be in this type of development so far. And the Z wave can be also extended more. The CPI data that we had yesterday, considering what we have here, created the bigger bullish movement. From the bottom to the top, it was approximately 280 pips, so it was a very aggressive movement. And it is likely that we may see this correction. So this is normal for this kind of movement. And considering the current pattern that we are looking at, we may see the price to create any correction or to develop this pattern more, and later we may see a bullish move. This is what I'm looking at for GBP USD so far. However, we have to see how the market will behave close to the correction area. This is a possible correction that I'm looking at, close to 1.2430, 1.24. So let's see how the market will react here. Thank you so much to everyone that is joining right now. I really appreciate it. If the price will show some reaction here, we may see GBP USD growing further. The first and the strongest area that I'm looking at for GBP USD is going to be close to 1.2560. So this is going to be also the Z wave for this pattern. It is too early to say that we are in a type of corrective pattern and the price will move down again, or probably we are at the beginning of the bullish move. However, for the moment and for short-term trading, up to 1.2560 should be a good move for GBP USD. The next one that we are going to look at is also Euro USD. I have shared this several times. This was shared at the beginning of the week, November 11th, also during the live stream that I made on TradingView. The price had two possibilities, however it moved during the event that we have, the CPI data. What I'm observing during these moments is that many currency pairs are not moving in advance, but many of them are waiting for the news to be released before the next movement. So despite the fact that we have the technical analysis, it is getting also a bit dangerous considering that these are big events and the market can also have problems with the spread during the trading moments. That is why we have to be very careful when we trade them. Considering the previous analysis that I have shared, look at where the price it was before. We saw that the targets were reached. It is close to another target. However, considering that the price already extended too much for the moment, too many pips, look at what happened during the breakout from the triangle pattern. The price increased by approximately 180 pips and from the bottom it was 230. It is likely that we may see Euro USD moving down further. I explained also on today's analysis that I shared. This is what I shared today. It is likely that we may see Euro USD moving down again before the next bullish move. So this is what I'm looking at so far. The correction that I'm looking at can happen up to 1.0740 or probably a bit higher, up to 1.08, before we see the price to increase further again. But we need this correction because we have also a profit-taking moment from the CPI data. We should also remember that the USD is not weak at all. We are talking about a very strong economy. Not all the other economies are performing in this way because they are not so strong. So if inflation is slowing down, it means that the economy is performing very well. And the monetary policy statement that the US is already applied is performing very well and not like the other countries. So that is why we have to be careful for these corrective moves, which can be also something else during the coming days. It is very risky to sell at this moment, so it is not the right approach if you are thinking to sell this. The problem is that we are ahead of very strong bullish moves, and these moves here are very risky most of the time. So we can see also trend continuation movement. However, considering everything what I explained, I think that it should continue moving down before the next bullish move. So this is also for the Euro USD. Thank you so much to every one of you guys. I really appreciate it. The next one that we are going to look at, let's check this. This is an analysis that I shared yesterday related with Dogecoin. Performed very well. Price reached the selling zone and also the targets and increased again. Considering that also the crypto market can be impacted from the US dollar, and considering also that Dogecoin is not performing like the other altcoins, it is likely that we may see Dogecoin moving down from where it is now or close to the brown area. It can move down again like the previous waves that we can see here, like this wave here. Just one moment. So the movement is that the price may move down again, but it is not clear for the moment. However, considering the structure and the weakness that may begin in the market, we may see Doge moving down in the same way as it did before. Another analysis that I shared at the beginning of the week, and also I updated this during the week, was the XY. As I explained, if the dollar index was going to stop below 106.1, this was going to increase the chances for a bearish move. And as we can see, already reached the targets, the bearish target. In the current pattern that we have, the price transformed in different ways. So far, I'm looking at for the price to stop below the structure, and probably we may see dollar index to move down from here. So this is what I'm looking at. However, one step at a time, we have to see the price reaction before it moves down again. This comes in line also with the other analysis on the USD pairs. So this is a normal movement that we may see. We need the profit taking at this moment before the price moves down again. So it's a very simple scenario. However, it's a bit complex at this moment. We have also the breakout from the pattern, and this is showing that the bearish volume is already increased and probably we are close to the beginning of a new trend. However, we have to be careful because the US dollar is still very, very strong. For US 500, this is an analysis that I shared yesterday, November 14th. Price created a very strong move up the top of the structure. So look at how aggressive was the move. Let's move on US 500. And here we have the pattern and the combination that was created. The problem with the US 500 at this moment is that the price is already testing the top of the structure, and we have to be careful because it can be a profit taking moment, but it can be also a reversal moment. So we can never know this in advance. Uh, it is likely that the inflation is going to slow down with the current steps. Probably the Fed will begin or will announce that they may decrease the interest rates. However, I don't think it will happen anytime soon. It will happen probably during the coming year. However, also the structural areas are showing that we are close to something big and we have to be careful with the bullish moves, despite the fact that we are close to a strong bullish trend. So look at the bullish trend; it's very aggressive. Probably you may think to buy, but it may be very risky considering the current zones because we may see any sell-off. It can happen very easily with indexes. We don't have many important events related with the USD, and that is why we have to be very careful because the sell-off will begin. It will not stop it this time. So let's see what is going to happen. Considering also the current structure perspective, if I'm going to delete this for US 500, we may see that the price is already close to a very strong area. Let me delete this. Look at how clear is the structure, and this is showing that we are already close to very strong resistance zone coming from above. Only this top can stop the price, so we have two possible price areas where it can stop. For bigger bullish movement up to the top of the weekly structure, it can happen. However, I don't think that it is showing anything clear so far. So better to stay away from US 500. At least this is my personal opinion for the moment. I don't like to buy at this area, considering that we have sellers that are positioned in this zone. It was very strong during the previous times, and it can react in the same way again. So we may see another movement here. During the previous time, I also analyzed USD yen. we have to be very careful with the yen pairs. I will prepare a different live stream related to the yen pairs. The problem is that all of them are facing the problem from the Bank of Japan that is not intervening in the market, despite the fact that we saw the inflation data creating pressure on USD yen and it moved down further. We have to be careful because the economy is strong. The Bank of Japan is not doing anything so far, and this will create a buy opportunity again. So let's buy the pullback. How many are already doing with USDN, and this increase in the bullish volume will create a bullish movement up to the top again. Yesterday we saw also other moves related with the yen pairs that I will discuss probably tomorrow, but we have to be careful because the yen is pointing up to the top, close to 151, 152. Probably from this area we may see another price reaction. So we have to be very, very careful with USDN. Another analysis that I shared during this week again, it was Aussie yen shared with two different time frames. And as you can see, the price is close to the top of the structure. The problem that was created yesterday was that compared with the other currencies, yen was very weak. And on the other hand, considering that the US was moving down, currencies again the Japanese yen, considering that the Bank of Japan is doing nothing. So it was the opposite movement as it usually happens this time, and we saw everything was very aggressive against the yen pair. Another problem is that we have to be very careful. It is very difficult and very risky also to trade on the long side, despite the fact that we may think it's a good idea. The problem is that if the Bank of Japan is going to take further actions, we may be in a type of, let's say, bull trap here, and later we may see the price to create big bearish gaps. That is why we have to be very careful with the pairs. However, for USDN, considering that the price reacted several times, probably it may create another sell-off close to top of the structure. This is what I am also looking at for the moment. So let's see what is going to happen also here. Uh, Amir is asking, you think the same thing about Aussie USD? Uh, it depends from currency to currency, from the structure, from the pattern. So there are many elements that are taken in consideration. We have also the fundamental perspective. So far related with US. Also, Atenda is asking about US 30 if possible. I think that you should stay away from all indexes, not only from US 500, because I have checked them, all of them. We have to be very careful because they are all close to very strong areas so far. Just let's see 1 minute. What do we have here? So on the daily structure that we can see for US 30, the top was reached on July 2023. And if we are going to make this more visible, we may see a strong structure zone. We cannot say that this is going to be bullish or bearish at this moment. However, considering that the price already reacted before, and if we are going to look at on the left side of the structure, we have another zone where the price reacted on the daily chart, and we have also other structure areas. Probably we can assume that we have to be very careful also with US 30. So it may create any sell-off from this point. However, we cannot say these aggressive waves, these are very aggressive waves, but we may see the price to to develop something before the next move. So it is very difficult to trade in this moment. So that's everything that I have prepared for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. Please don't forget to hit the like button and follow for more future contents. Tomorrow I will try to prepare a live stream related with the Japanese yen pairs. We are going to look at them one by one and also what we have to expect. So it's very important considering that many are suffering the problems from the yen pairs. So thank you so much again for joining today and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.